ablative of personal agent, but before we do that, I want to see if y'all can remember any of the previous types of ablatives we have learned so far. Give me
Ablative of accompaniment.
Okay, and what is ablative of accompaniment?
Like when you're with somebody or thing.
And does that use a preposition?
It does not.
Try again.
It does.
It does. What preposition does it use?
Cum.
Cum. Okay.
Ablative of means.
Ablative of means, and what is that used for?
When you're using something to do something.
Yeah, so when you're using something, it's also called ablative of instrument, which may or may not help you remember what it does. It's, I write with a pen, the farmer plows with the plow, the poet is moved by the beautiful words. Okay?
Ablative of place where.
Ablative of place where, and does that use a preposition?
Yes.
Yes. What preposition does it use?
I don't know.
Starts with an I and ends with an N, and it has two letters.
In.
What ablative of means? Did that use a preposition?
No.
No. Any other types of ablatives?
Ablative of personal agent.
Ablative of personal agent. Okay, that's the one that we're going to learn today. We said ablative of means.
Ablative of direct object, or is that?
That's
Yeah,
accused.
there was another
That's dated,
ablative,
never
wasn't there?
mind.
Did we have ablative of manner yet?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
I don't
So,
think so.
ablative of personal agent. We've been studying the passive voice, and y'all have gotten really good at making the forms of the passive voice. So now we need to be able to use it in sentences. And when you have a what is the definition of passive voice? What makes a verb in the passive voice?
When the subject is, or the verb is being done to the subject.
When the verb is being done to the subject. So, by its very nature, if we just have the subject and the verb, we know what's happening, and we know to whom or to what it's happening, who it's getting happened to. But we don't know necessarily who's actually doing it. And that's where the ablative of personal agent comes into play. I'm going to write it in English first, and we'll see how to write it in Latin. How about the mother? Oh, I said I'd write it in English first.
So is ablative of personal agent like an agent that gets you gigs and whatnot? Or?
No.
Okay.
It just says who is doing something. It comes from the Latin verb ago, which means to do. Okay, the mother is loved by the son. So that's a perfect example of a passive voice. The mother is being loved. Okay, the mother is the subject. And we have by the son.
And by the son is the ablative of personal agent.
By the son will be ablative of personal agent. Now, unlike ablative of means, ablative of personal agent does use a preposition. It uses the preposition a or ab.
Oh, good. We have finally a use for all these prepositions that we learned.
Now, a or ab has another meaning that you've already learned. It can mean away from as well as by. But when it's used with a passive verb, you'll translate it as by. And you use a if the next word starts with a consonant, and ab if the next word starts with a vowel.
Use it. Talking about prepositions is bringing back a lot of memories of this room that aren't really that fun.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But
Yeah, about Latin?
yeah,
Okay.
when you're doing ablative of personal agent, is it always in the passive voice?
Yes, always, and that's a very good question. If you're trying to figure out what kind of ablative you have in a sentence, if you don't have passive voice, you don't have ablative of agent. Ablative of agent only with the passive voice.
Awesome.
So, the
Cool.
mother,
That's good.
mater. And now I'll use ablative of personal agent to say by the son. So by is going to be a or ab. To figure out which one, we need to look at the word son, which is
Consonant.
consonant. So we'll use a. Now we need to take the word for son, no,
And that's cool.
filius, and put it in the ablative case, because it's ablative,
Video.
filio. And now is loved.
Amateur.
Amator.
Yes.
The mother is loved by the son.
Oh.
Okay, now let's contrast this with an ablative of means. So this is ablative of personal agent. Now let's look at an ablative of means. Let's say the poet is moved by words. Now, the difference is you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, well, how do I know the difference between ablative of agent and ablative of means? The big clue, because even though this is passive, the big clue is that this is a person and these are things. So ablative of means are things, and ablative of agent is going to be a person.
Can you use ablative means with people?
Not really.
It doesn't.
It doesn't
make sense.
really
Yeah.
make sense. It would be something totally bizarre if you did.
Okay.
You couldn't do
The poet
the guy
is
got
moved by
killed
the
by
woman.
the soldiers or something.
No, that would be ablative of personal agent.
Oh, no, moved by
I
the
think
woman.
of any situation in which you would use it now.
Yeah. The poet is moved by the. No.
I was hitting the wall with Seth. I'm taking Seth and I'm hitting the wall with you, using you as an instrument.
I got you. So you'd have to be using a person as an instrument.
Yes, exactly.
So
That's awesome.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So in this instance, we'll have the poet. What's the word for poet? Poeta is moved by words. Now, we already determined we were going to use ablative of means here. So an ablative of means does not use a preposition. And so we just need words in the ablative case.
What's the?
It's wherebum.
Wherebum. And so now we need that, except we need it plural.
Werbies.
Wherebees.
Yeah.
And now we need is moved.
Tor.
No way. Okay, let's try another one. The queen will be called by the slave. So the first thing we need to decide is this ablative of agent or ablative of means? It's ablative of agent. Okay. People. Now, we had a big discussion about this in my Latin 2 class a couple years ago because we were reading a whole story and it involved Medusas and Gorgons, and they were trying to decide between ablative of agent or ablative of means. And they said, but Gorgons aren't really people. And so we amended it. We said that ablative of agent is used with people or Gorgons.
Gotcha.
Gorgons
What
are
about-
people too.
Yeah.
What about, like, stone people?
Well, we made a whole list of things that we eventually decided you could use ablative of agent with. You know, monsters, ghosts, haunted houses, things that, you know,
Haunted houses?
yeah, well, we decided that could be ablative of agent.
Was
Because,
scared by the haunted house?
no, you see, I think that would be ablative of means. But if you would say,
Haunted house?
I was being attacked by the haunted house.
Sort of
The
like
haunted
that.
house is acting as an agent in that situation.
Yeah,
So
I
is
guess that's how you would
personal
define it.
agent,
secret
like
agent.
So
the word that is ablative of personal agent, is that doing the...
That's doing the action.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to have a verb in the passive voice, because if the thing that's doing the action is in the ablative case, well, then your verb has to be passive because the thing that's in the nominative is having the action done to it.
People
Okay.
and gorgons and other monsters.
Okay, the queen,
Got it.
Regina.
Regina,
Where are you?
by the slaves.
Just a. Just
Mhm.
and then what's the ablative for Sarah?
Sarah. Whoa.
Sarah Weiss,
Sarah Weiss, right.
plural. Sarah Weiss.
Oh yeah, so we. Okay.
Will be called. Will cut it.
Yay.
Okay, one more.
One more example.
One more before we have to leave.
Dude. Oh, damn.
How about we have an ablative means but with a person? Like the
Like
second.
with a slave.
No, like
Well,
that's
I was just thinking about
horrible.
that. No, I was just thinking about that.
That's
You could,
horrible.
no, you could say the person tilled the field with the slaves. I mean, that would be kind of that'd be.
What did he
That
do?
sounds like ablative of accompaniment.
Yeah,
No.
Oh, I see what you're
like
saying.
You said,
I see
go
what you're
till
saying.
the field to the slave.
Yeah, maybe.
It still sounds weird.
I still prefer
Okay,
breaking
the
the wall.
fields were seen by the farmer. Ager, make it plural.
I agree.
Agree. by the farmer.
A. Ah.
Up.
Oh, right, because the Latin.
And agricola.
Agricoles.
That's one farmer.
Agricola.
Agricola.
Yeah, but it's.
Agricola.
And we're seeing,
Let somebody else try. With J.
with Devator. Yeah.
With a bontour. Now notice it's bontour
Oh,
because
plural.
the fields are plural. It doesn't matter that the farmer is singular. The verb has to agree with
I
the subject.
see.
Right.
Yay.
So that's ablative of agent. Your homework is to finish drill 22 to 23.